This page is the vibrant cover of Saturn Fan Magazine, issue 16 from 1997. It features engaging anime artwork with two characters, hinting at games focused on relationships or character interaction, alongside the highlighted title, Friends. The issue promises in-depth strategy guides for two major titles, the 3D fighting game Last Bronx and the tactical RPG Langrisser, IV. There's also an exciting announcement from NEC Interchannel, strongly suggesting a new port or iteration of the beloved Dokusei series. The cover teases coverage of other highly anticipated games, such as Sakura Wars, the critically acclaimed RPG Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, the strategic crossover Super Robot Wars F, the legendary visual novel Uno, the popular dating sim Sentimental Graffiti, the simulation game Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team, and the frantic fighting game X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Edits. Additionally, readers had the chance to receive a demo version of the action platformer Silhouette Mirage. This page highlights a truly unique Sega Saturn title, Real Sound, Regret of the Wind. What makes it stand out is its groundbreaking concept. It's a game played entirely through sound, with no visual component beyond the promotional image. Described as a full-fledged love story drama, the player steps into the shoes of Hiroshi to experience romance tied to memories of first love. The developers, Warp, emphasize that the story and ending change depending on how you play, aiming to deliver a poignant and nostalgic narrative that resonates deeply. This focus on emotional depth and relationship exploration fits perfectly with the themes highlighted on the magazine's cover. The game was released on a hefty 4 Kledroms. This page presents a vibrant spread dedicated to Slink's popular fighting series, highlighting Samurai Showdown IV, Amakusa's Revenge for the Sega Saturn. The core visual is a dramatic illustration featuring key characters like the antagonist Amakusa Shirotokisada, the protagonist Haomaru, and the Ainu priestess Nakoru, setting the stage for the game's thematic conflict surrounding Amakusa's return. The page confirms this is the Amakusa Resurrection chapter of the series, and includes a lineup of character portraits, showcasing the roster available in the game. The Sega Saturn port is announced with a scheduled release date of October 2nd, though the price is listed as undecided. It promotes the game as the latest entry in the acclaimed weapon-based fighting game franchise. This page features Kuro no Dansho, the literary fragment, a compelling perspective modern horror adventure game for the Sega Saturn. The striking artwork depicts several key characters, setting a dark and mysterious tone, with a prominent tagline hinting at lost memories, a lover, and the start of a new nightmare. The page provides detailed profiles for 3 characters, including names, ages, heights, and background information, suggesting a narrative-driven experience. Below these, numerous smaller portraits showcase the diverse cast of characters players will encounter. Advertised as now on sale for the Saturn, the release includes a bonus CD featuring the game's soundtrack and other extras, making it an enticing package for fans of mature, atmospheric adventure titles on the console. This page is the table of contents, and features the extreme sports title, Steep Slope Sliders. The cover art prominently features characters from the game Friends, Shunkan no Kagayaki, indicating the issue focuses on that, or sentimental graffiti, as confirmed by the cover notes. The contents list a variety of articles, including a special feature on Friends, a look at Sentimental Graffiti and Super Robot Wars F, and a Sega Dynamic preview covering Sakura Wars and wrestling games. The main game feature showcases Steep Slope Sliders, with a dynamic collage of in-game screenshots capturing various stunts and environments, from snowy slopes to cabins, and even unexpected elements like a wild boar and a helicopter. It highlights the game as a super sensation snowboard game, launching on October 23rd for 5,800 yen. Key features mentioned include over 20 types of tricks, challenging continuous combos, 9 extreme courses, a time progress system that changes the stage based on the in-game time of day, 6 unique riders, ghost battle modes, and a replay mode with multiple camera angles. This looks like a solid arcade-style snowboarding experience for the Saturn. The page also lists regular columns like game reviews, news updates, strategy guides, and new game introductions. This page presents an emergency announcement regarding the highly anticipated port of the game Dosokai, Class Reunion, to the Sega Saturn. The port, handled by NEC Interchannel, will be released under the new title, Friends: The Radiance of Youth. The page showcases striking character art, including the main cast, and highlights the significant acquisition of original artwork from the PC version for this port, described as Beginning, A Summer's Pure Love. This adventure title is recommended for players aged 18 and above. Development is reported to be 30% complete as of August 1st. This page delves into the story and characters of Friends, the Radiance of Youth, the Sega Saturn port of the popular PC title Dosokai. It introduces the premise. Protagonist Kubota Tatsuya attends a 6-day, 7-night reunion of his junior high tennis club, leading to encounters and rekindling past feelings in this dramatic adventure game. Key characters are presented with illustrations and brief descriptions. File 1 introduces Mizuho Kobayakawa, the protagonist's gentle first love, described as the school's Madonna, who was often ill in junior high. File 2 features Ayu Wakabayashi, an energetic childhood friend who enjoys outdoor activities. The production staff section highlights the game's visual fidelity, stating that characters by designer Mizuno were 100% recreated in CG. It mentions that limited staff, known for their work on other NEC Interchannel titles, handled the Saturn port, adding over 300 original CGs by Mizuno to enhance the quality beyond the original PC version. The focus on detailed character artwork is noted as a significant draw. The page includes various illustrations showcasing character designs and different scenes from the game. This page dives deeper into the gameplay system and character relationships in Friends, the Radiance of Youth. It highlights a key difference from typical dating simulations and adventure games: the significant presence of rival male characters. The story for each character unfolds in parallel, driven by the thoughts and actions of the various individuals involved. 2 case studies illustrate the complexity. Case 2 shows a love triangle, where one girl is pursued by 2 men, and the outcome depends heavily on the player's actions, altering relationships. Case 1 depicts a basic love triangle, where the protagonist is targeted by 4 male characters who are interested in the same girls he is, creating a challenging situation if your chosen girl is taken. The page also presents examples of potential scenarios, such as encountering characters at various locations, including a secret meeting at a church or an intimate moment depicted in a CG. These examples hint at the dramatic and sometimes tense situations the player will face. Finally, the page introduces 3 more key characters. Makoto Kanu, a former plane student who became a model, now living a refined life while attending a private university. Shizuka Ogata, an ex-bike gang member who is now a company advisor, described as unexpectedly good at cooking. And Midori Akiyama, a close friend since junior high who attends the same university, known for her talkative and gossipy nature. This page delves into the various events that players can experience during their stay in Friends, the Radiance of Youth, describing them as opportunities to create new memories and potentially deepen relationships. These include activities like a thrilling test of courage, a lively barbecue offering chances to see unexpected sides of characters, and a beautiful fireworks display where admiring characters in traditional yukata is highlighted. The page emphasizes that while free exploration is an option, actively participating in these events is key to progressing romance subplots. The right side of the page introduces more key characters from the game. It features Kanako Saeki, a new character described as the protagonist's high school junior in the tennis club, possessing a childish personality despite her age. The page also provides larger illustrations and profile summaries for Miyuki Murata and Momoko Aoki, 2 characters mentioned on the previous page. Miyuki is shown in a game CG enjoying a parfait, reinforcing her profile as a local girl working at a souvenir shop who yearns for Tokyo and seeks a man to take her there. Momoko Aoki is depicted in her work attire, reinforcing her role as a quiet yet mature employee at the pension where the story takes place. These characters and events form the core interactions the player will navigate. This page presents an interview with the producer of Friends, the Radiance of Youth, Hiru Tabata, discussing the game's development. He notes that graphics are around 70% complete, with layout still being decided. The interview highlights the emphasis on deeply written scenarios and the increased volume of dialogue in the Saturn version compared to the PC release, aiming to express a wide range of emotions. It also touches upon the differences in tone and portrayal between Friends and a related project, Sentimental Graffiti. The page also introduces 4 male characters from the game: Yosuke Takiguchi, the protagonist's best friend; Ryusuke Shiraishi, a sports-minded former tennis club captain; Susumu Endo, a sharp student known for being a bit of a prankster in middle school; and Fujio Kurakake, depicted as someone from a wealthy background who expects to get everything he wants. Illustrations and brief profiles for each character are provided, showing their designs and key personality traits. Additionally, there's a small announcement about a reader giveaway for an original Friends telephone card. This page provides a deep dive into the game system of Sentimental Graffiti, a simulation game centered around meeting 12 girls waiting across Japan. The premise involves the protagonist, a high school student, traveling during holidays to reconnect with these girls encountered during his family's previous transfers. Actions are limited to these breaks, requiring players to earn money through part-time jobs to fund their nationwide journeys. The page details various commands available to the player, including saving progress, making phone calls to invite girls on dates, checking the schedule, working part-time, reviewing girls' personal profiles for information like birthdays, and finding lodging to recover energy. Travel is a core mechanic, with players navigating across a map of Japan. There are 8 distinct transportation methods, each with varying speeds, costs, and effects on the protagonist's action power. Options range from hitchhiking, free but slow, to airplanes, fastest but most expensive, and different trains and buses, including overnight options that allow for action power recovery while traveling. Screenshots show the travel map with routes and city details, as well as character events, such as one featuring Honoka looking at a statue. The page reinforces that Sentimental Graffiti is a simulation game focused on these relationship and travel mechanics. This page showcases the real-life date locations featured in the simulation game Sentimental Graffiti, highlighting places you might genuinely want to visit. It presents a selection of the game's 12 girls and their respective date spots spread across Japan, from Hokkaido down to Kyushu. Each section provides a character portrait, a screenshot of the location with in-game dialogue, and a brief description linking the place to the girl's personality or story. You'll find characters like Nanase associated with Peace Memorial Park in Hiroshima, Ayasaki Wakaba in Gion, Kyoto, and Matsuoka Chi in Tenjin, Fukuoka. The page emphasizes how the game uses these authentic locations, suggesting that exploring them with the characters adds a layer of immersion that could inspire real-world travel. It's a neat touch that connects the game's narrative of reconnecting across Japan with actual geography. This article provides a deep dive into Super Robot Wars F, focusing on episodes 5 to 7, systems, and the Evangelion units. Despite a slight delay, the game's polished presentation is worth the wait. Key system updates include a revamped level-up system rewarding bonus experience based on spirit points, spirit commands, and special abilities now directly displayed, and bonus experience awarded at scenario end. Unit lists are now more flexible, displaying key stats impacting abilities. Map terrain effects are detailed for tactical planning. Finally, graphics are improved, with dynamic character expressions during dialogue and battles. This page dives deeper into Super Robot Wars Fi, focusing on key story developments and gameplay enhancements. The article reveals events from episodes 5 through 7, highlighting the critical arrival on Earth and the dramatic descent of the Ronbell team. A major focus is placed on the introduction and initial encounter between Hiro Yui and Relena Peacecraft in episode 5, noting that their dialogue stays true to the original source material, which is a great point for fans, and suggesting Relena will play a more significant role than in previous installments. Gameplay-wise, the article points out noticeable improvements in Super Robot Wars Flan, particularly in battle scene performance. Load times leading into combat have been significantly sped up compared to the PlayStation version of 4th Super Robot Wars, contributing to a smoother, more efficient experience. The AI of enemy units is also described as faster, leading to more rapid and exciting battles. Furthermore, the graphics and effects in battle scenes have received significant updates, with detailed unit animations and improved effects for weapons like beam rifles. The sound design is also mentioned, with specific effects for weapons and character voices enhancing the atmosphere. Finally, the article highlights the inclusion of the classic Mazinger team, Mazinger Z, Aphrodite A, and Boss Barreau, as powerful allies in this scenario, adding variety and strength to the player's forces. The strengths of Koji's Mazinger Z and the humorous presence of Boss Barreau are specifically noted. This page continues the deep dive into Super Robot Wars FEF, detailing the events of Episode 6 and the dramatic introduction of Evangelion in Episode 7. Episode 6, titled Apostle Appearance, features significant plot points including a major event involving Hiro Yui and Relena Peacecraft, where Hiro incredibly declares his intent to kill Relena before rescuing her from a crisis. The Story Digest also describes the battle against Poseidal forces and the sudden mysterious appearance of a strange life form referred to as an apostle, angel. Adding further intrigue is the return of Shu Shirakawa and Granzan, who appear briefly before vanishing, hinting at their continued enigmatic role. The segment includes screenshots showing Hiro and Relena's dialogue and a battle scene with the Angel. Moving to Episode 7, Evangelion Activation, the focus shifts entirely to the groundbreaking introduction of Evangelion Unit 01 and its pilot, Shinji Ikari. This scenario faithfully recreates the original anime's debut of the Evangelion, including key dramatic voice events, DVE, and dialogue sequences that are remarkably true to the source material, such as Shinji's struggle and Gendo Ikari's stern presence. The page highlights battle screenshots showing Unit 01 engaging the Angel Sakiel, detailing the unique aspects like the field and the distinct visual style of the Angel's attacks. The content emphasizes how well the Evangelion universe is integrated, staying true to its roots while fitting into the Super Robot Wars framework. This page unveils details on the upcoming second Sakura Wars fan disc, titled Sakura Wars Steam Radio Show. Following the previous Flower Division communication disc, this release is packed onto 2 crudes, promising a significantly richer experience. It features exclusive original visuals and events not found elsewhere. Disc 1 focuses on the daily lives of the Flower Division members, offering fans a deeper look into their world, while Disc 2 includes recordings from a live performance. The content highlights voice recordings from the cast and includes interactive elements like a radio show segment where Sakura answers fan questions. There's also a section dedicated to the Because of Love performance, showcasing scenes previously unseen in the main game. Adding to the fun are minigames featuring chibi versions of the characters, including one depicting Ogami dancing and another showing Sakura engaged in cleaning, promising entertaining diversions within the Sakura Wars universe. This page unveils the upcoming baseball management simulation game, Let's Make a Pro Baseball Team. In this title, players take on the role of an owner, building and managing their very own professional baseball club with the goal of becoming the best in Japan. The game features real Japanese baseball players from the era, presented in a charming chibi style. Players will handle all aspects of team operations, from managing finances and acquiring talented players through drafts and trades, to hiring coaches and investing in team facilities like stadiums and practice grounds. The page showcases several famous real-life players included in the game, such as Ichiro Suzuki, Kazuhiro Sasaki, and others, highlighting the game's use of authentic player data and personalities. The core gameplay revolves around strategic decision-making to create a powerhouse team destined for baseball history. This page dives into the upcoming Sega Touring Car Championship, highlighting the extra round and the challenging urban circuit track. This new circuit, based on urban highways, is described as dark, narrow, and dangerous, featuring tight tunnels and tricky corners that demand high-level driving skill. The preview showcases the game's graphical fidelity and exciting features, emphasizing its faithful port of the arcade experience. Notable aspects covered include the 6 different replay camera angles, offering diverse views from driver's perspective to external cameras, allowing players to study their lines or simply enjoy the action. The page also details the real-world licensed cars available: the Toyota Supra GT, Alfa Romeo 155 V6 Thai, Opel Calibra V6, and AMG Mercedes class, providing brief descriptions of each vehicle. Screenshots illustrate intense racing action, the track layout, starting grids, and different replay views, emphasizing the colorful visuals and flash effects during transitions like cutbacks. The content conveys excitement for this highly anticipated racing title, promising a thrilling and detailed simulation experience. This page gives us a dynamic preview update on 2 very different Sega games. On the left, we're looking at Let's Make a Pro Soccer Club, a deep management simulation where you build and manage a J.League team. The report highlights the intricacies of player negotiations and staffing, which are key parts of growing your club successfully. It shows menus for managing players and even selecting your club secretary, adding a nice personal touch to the management simulation. The right side shifts gears dramatically to All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua. This is a pro wrestling title that promises realistic action thanks to extensive motion capture of real wrestling legends. What's really cool is the crossover, featuring characters from the legendary Virtua Fighter series stepping into the ring alongside famous Japanese wrestlers. The preview showcases dynamic match screenshots, emphasizing the fluid animation and impactful moves. They even highlight specific signature techniques from the featured wrestlers, like Kawada and Kobashi, promising an authentic and hard-hitting wrestling experience. This page gives us an in-depth look at the highly anticipated Sega Saturn title, Yuno, a girl chanting love at the end of this world. The main feature is a map detailing the fictional town of Sakaimachi, described here as a lovely town from the sea breeze, which serves as the primary setting for the game's mysterious adventure. The map highlights key locations players will explore, including the Sakaimachi Academy, various character residences like the Arima and Shimazu homes, and other points of interest like a shrine, a construction site, and the city hotel. Alongside the map is a prominent illustration of the game's titular character, Yuno, rendered in the distinctive anime style of the era. The accompanying text notes the game's growing popularity and proudly announces the release of graphics specifically from the Saturn version. It promises to introduce the mysterious Sakaimachi map and the characters that inhabit it. A small table in the corner provides basic game information like developer, genre, and development status, confirming its status as an upcoming adventure title. This preview offers a tantalizing glimpse into the world players will explore in this classic visual novel. This page continues our exploration of the visually stunning world of Yuno, a girl chanting love at the end of this world, focusing on the detailed depiction of the town of Sakaimachi and its key inhabitants. We get a closer look at the game's settings, including the quiet residential area where protagonist Takuya Arima lives in the distinct Arima house overlooking the sea, a location central to the mystery. The page also highlights the coastal region featuring the enigmatic Triangle Rock and the Geotechnics Research Facility situated on a hill, a place shrouded in secrecy where geological surveys related to frequent lightning incidents are conducted. Several crucial characters are introduced here. We meet Takuya Arima himself, described as the energetic protagonist who takes on all mysteries. His missing father, the archaeologist Kudai Arima, whose research triggers the game's events, is also featured. The page introduces Takuya's stepmother, Ayumi Arima, who is the research director at Geotechnics, alongside her subordinate, Sukao Toyotomi, and Marina, a security guard at the facility with a surprisingly lax attitude. The detailed artwork and character introductions build anticipation for the complex narrative awaiting players in this intriguing adventure title. The next page continues our deep dive into the world of Yuno, a girl chanting love at the end of this world, expanding on the locations and introducing more key players in Sakaimachi. We see detailed views of Sakaimachi Gakuen, the school the protagonist attends, including its modern design, rooftop view, and interiors like the infirmary and a research room. We also visit the historic Ryuzuji Temple and residence, the home of the school principal, and the bustling Sakaimachi downtown area, featuring Central Street with shops like the evening coffee shop. More essential characters are brought into the spotlight. We meet Eriko Takeda, the mysterious school doctor, known for her distinctive cigarette and hidden beauty. Mizuki Ichiju is introduced as the temple's secretary, whose research interests seem to align with a potential conflict. The Ryuzuji family members are detailed. The grandmother, Ume Ryuzuji, described as somewhat senile, and Kuzu Ryuzuji, the father's research colleague who has become intensely focused on his work. Finally, Atsushi Huju, a man seemingly shadowing Kana, hints at deeper connections and mysteries. These character introductions and location details further paint a picture of the complex and intriguing world of Yuno. This page continues exploring the world and characters of Yuno, a girl chanting love at the end of this world. We are shown more locations in Sakaimachi, including the affluent Takadai district with its large residences and parks, the lavish home of Mayor Shimazu, and the serene Myeonji Park situated within the residential area. We also get a glimpse inside a luxurious mansion, specifically Kana's room, hinting at her living situation. Several more essential characters are introduced. We meet Mio Shimazu, the strong-willed daughter of the mayor, described as a classic tsundere. Masakatsu Yuki is presented as a friend and loyal follower of the protagonist. Kaori Asakura is introduced as a mysteriously sexy newscaster, investigating matters related to geotechnics and the protagonist's father. Finally, Kana Hatano is profiled as a transfer student struggling with her studies, often seen crying alone in her room. The page prominently features an image and brief description of Yuno herself, the titular girl with blonde hair, who is the central mystery. A section discusses the journey to a new world, referencing the reflector device and the protagonist's exploration of different realities, with Yuno serving as the key theme connecting these experiences. This page provides a detailed look into Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, focusing on key gameplay systems. The report highlights significant improvements and additions since the previous issue. Featured prominently are the enhanced demon conversation mechanics. Players can engage demons in dialogue during or before battles using their comp. With a wider variety of responses and choices, the interactions feel more dynamic, with demons remembering past exchanges and potentially making requests for items or money, which can lead to recruitment. The demon fusion process is also explored. The traditional fusion location, the Amami Mon, has been spectacularly transformed into a luxurious cruise ship. The fusion master, Victor, returns in this new setting, now accompanied by maids. The fusion system itself sees notable changes, including the introduction of 3-body fusion alongside the standard 2-body fusion, and a helpful fusion law display to guide players in creating desired demon types. The page also briefly showcases a demon status screen, detailing their attributes, loyalty, and personality. The next page continues, exploring the world of devil summoners, soul hackers. The next page dives into the key players in Devil Summoners, Soul Hackers, showcasing both the main human characters driving the story and some intriguing new demons appearing in the series. Featured are 4 central human figures. Victor, the mysterious owner of the water hotel Amami who presides over demon fusion. Lunch, a young and skilled hacker from the group Spookies who helps the protagonist. Spooky, the sharp-witted leader of Spookies. And Nishi, the general manager behind the model city planning in Amami City. Their descriptions hint at their personalities and involvement in the game's plot. The page also introduces a lineup of unique demons, many making their debut appearance or presented with distinct designs. These include Bilwis, a German demon associated with harvests, Persephone, the Greek goddess and queen of the underworld, the Wicker Man, based on ancient ritual effigies, Vivian, described as Lancelot's wet nurse from Arthurian legend, and Ghoul, an English demon known for devouring corpses. Each demon comes with a brief background or note about their depiction in the game. This page features an exciting preview of X-Men vs. Street Fighter, highlighting the dream crossover between the iconic Marvel and Capcom franchises. The main artwork is a dynamic ensemble featuring characters like Magneto, Wolverine, Ryu, Chun-Li, Cyclops, Storm, Rogue, Gambit, Akuma, Sabretooth, Zangief, Cammy, and Charlie Nash, emphasizing the massive roster. The article focuses on the game's innovative tag match battle system, a departure from traditional one-on-one fighting games. It introduces mechanics like variable combinations, allowing 2 characters to unleash powerful special moves together, and variable attacks, where partners tag in with an attack. Other new features discussed include the advancing guard for defensive maneuvers, and the variable counter for tagging out after guarding an opponent's attack. A significant point covered is the game's use of the 4 MB RAM cartridge. This hardware expansion is presented as crucial for handling the game's detailed graphics, smooth animations, and large character sprites, explaining how it brings the arcade experience closer to home on the Sega Saturn. The reviewer notes that this cartridge is essential for future high-fidelity fighting games from Capcom. This page serves as a comprehensive character introduction for the exciting crossover title, X-Men vs. Street Fighter. It showcases the impressive roster of fighters, drawn from both the Marvel Comics X-Men universe and Capcom's iconic Street Fighter series. Featured here are fan favorites like Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, M. Bison, Akuma, Cammy, Dhalsim, Zangief, Charlie Nash from the Street Fighter side, alongside Marvel's mutants including Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Rogue, Gambit, Magneto, Sabretooth, and the powerful Juggernaut. The page presents each character with their distinct artwork and accompanying gameplay screenshots, giving viewers a taste of their visual style and in-game presence. This layout effectively highlights the diversity and star power of the cast, emphasizing the dream match potential of this unique fighting game. This page features a special report on the highly anticipated Sega Saturn port of Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, a pivotal entry in the series that introduced significant RPG elements. The page showcases the game's main characters: Alucard, the half-vampire protagonist; Richter Belmont, the vampire hunter from the previous installment; Maria Renard, who is notably playable from the start in the Saturn version; and the iconic Dracula himself. Stunning character artwork and atmospheric screenshots accompany the descriptions. A key section provides insights from developer interviews discussing the porting process. The team aimed to faithfully recreate the PlayStation version's atmosphere while adding unique content for the Saturn, such as extra rooms and potentially other features. driven by fan feedback to make it a compelling release on the platform. This report emphasizes the return of this beloved title and its evolution on the Saturn. This page features a special report on Konami's simulation RPG, Vandal Hearts, making its way to the Sega Saturn. Originally a PlayStation title, the Saturn version is being treated as a revised edition rather than a straight port, aiming to add new content while maintaining the core experience. The game utilizes 3D polygon maps and diverse camera work, offering a tactical grid-based battle system. Screenshots showcase the isometric battle views and an overhead map. The article includes an interview with the developers, who discuss the challenges of reproducing the visuals on the Saturn and the exciting prospect of adding new elements unique to this version. Key additions highlighted for the Saturn include new maps, expanded magic options for different classes, and additional movie sequences, such as a new opening movie and extended ending. The developers are focusing on fine-tuning details, like control improvements and balance adjustments, to enhance the gameplay. This report emphasizes the commitment to making the Saturn release a compelling evolution of the original game. This page dives into Soldier's Child, a simulation RPG where you lead mercenary troops to fulfill missions for various countries and strive for peace on a war-torn continent. The gameplay features tactical battles with distinct phases, including unit command on a grid, large-scale real-time army clashes, and even intense one-on-one duels, showcasing powerful magic like Meteor. You'll take on jobs from the guild, gaining renown and rising in the world, with the narrative shifting based on your alliances with different nations. A major highlight is the character design handled by Ayami Kojima, known for her work on Castlevania. The page includes an interview with Kojima herself, where she discusses designing the game's massive roster of over 230 characters. She aimed to create characters with depth, background, and drama, emphasizing intuition and inspiration in her process. Featured characters include the protagonist Antonine, his childhood friend Anastasia, who supports with recovery magic, the skilled swordsman Steindorf, and a formidable masked warrior antagonist. The interview provides insight into her approach and favorite character types. Soldier's Child promises a deep simulation RPG experience with a rich world and memorable characters. This page announces the arrival of a new wizardry title on the Saturn, specifically the Wizardry Adventure, Nemesis. While retaining the classic sword and magic world, this installment is presented as an adventure game, moving away from the traditional party-based RPG structure. Gameplay shifts to a single-player experience with a focus on puzzle solving from a first-person 3D perspective, inherited from the series' origins. A major change is the combat system, which is now real-time. Character growth is tied to defeating enemies, where absorbing their power can enhance the player's abilities, such as magic power increasing after defeating a magic-using foe. The visuals feature enhanced 3D environments for exploration, including detailed outdoor areas like towns and forests, as well as the expected dungeons. The Saturn version boasts original elements not found in the PC counterpart, including redrawn backgrounds and potentially new content. The game also incorporates abundant in-game movies for various events, travel scenes, and character interactions, aiming to enrich the narrative presentation. Screenshots showcase diverse environments, enemy encounters, and the real-time combat interface. This page introduces the upcoming music game for the Saturn, DJ Wars, where anyone can become a super DJ. It's presented as a new concept in music games. The game features both a story mode, which plays like an RPG where you challenge rival DJs in clubs to become the champion, and a studio mode for practice and free mixing. The major selling point highlighted is that all 50 tracks in the game are original compositions produced by professional Avex DJs, covering genres like techno, hip-hop, house, and drum and bass. Gameplay involves the core DJ skills of mixing, scratching, using effects, adjusting pitch, and making smooth transitions between tracks, focusing on raising the excitement level. The page also features character designs by Imai Towns, showcasing a cast of distinct personalities like Yuhi, Toru, Junita, and Steel, who appear in the game's visuals and likely the story mode. An interview with producer Satoshi Horikoshi discusses the game modes, the challenge of balancing graphics and sound, and the unique target audience they considered. Overall, it looks like a deep dive into the world of Jijing, presented in an accessible game format. This page is a special feature introducing the Sega Saturn game Galaxy Fraulein Yuna 3 Lightning Angel. It highlights the game's transformation into a tactical adventure, blending adventure and simulation gameplay. The feature breaks down the game's key aspects into 4 points. First, It explains the core gameplay involves progressing through missions on strategic battle maps. A departure from the previous adventure style, incorporating scenario branching. Second, it introduces a group of new rival characters, known as the Six Flower Battle, showcasing their unique designs. Third, it discusses the importance of strategy in missions, detailing victory and defeat conditions, and the flow between missions, including managing points for items. Finally, it highlights the visually impressive and varied special techniques used by the Chiba-style characters in battle, emphasizing the unique abilities of each character for strategic advantage. Screenshots display the battle maps, character deployment, mission objectives, battle evaluation screens, and examples of flashy special moves like Yuna's Light Slash and Polylina's Milky Attack. This page features two upcoming Sega Saturn games. On the left, there is a special report on Lupin III, the Sage of the Pyramid, tentative name, presented as a 3D action game. It showcases polygon models of Lupin and enemies, along with screenshots depicting gameplay where Lupin navigates levels, using stealth and various actions to steal treasure. The section also includes concept art illustrating different scenarios from Lupin's adventures, featuring characters like Jigen, Goemon, and Zenigata, as well as action scenes involving robots and exotic locations. The article highlights the game's faithful recreation of the charismatic characters and their exploits in 3D. On the right, we see the shocking debut of Tactical Fighter, a fighting game featuring Fighting Bishujo. A large illustration of the main heroine dominates the page. Screenshots show the game's interface and character visuals. The text describes the game as combining a new training system with a command-based fighting system, following the heroine Akane as she enters the fighting world to find her missing father. The game promises a dramatic story and boasts a powerful voice actor lineup. This page features Side Pocket 3, bringing its realistic billiard gameplay to the Sega Saturn. The main image showcases a character posing on a pool table, emphasizing the game's graphical advancements with its real feel. Side Pocket 3 introduces a unique story mode, shifting the traditional pool game into a mysterious narrative set within a grand mansion. Players engage in billiard battles while uncovering conspiracies and traps, encountering intriguing characters like Kato and Aso. Beyond the story, the page also highlights the game's commitment to the sport, featuring a comic strip billiard lesson focused on proper manners, advised by pro player Kyoko Son. This title promises a blend of serious pool simulation and narrative depth. It's available now on Sega Saturn, with a PlayStation version planned. This page showcases Asuka 120% Limited, Burning Fest. Limited on Sega Saturn, a vibrant girl fighting game from Ask Kodansha. The main artwork features the game's protagonist, Asuka, in a dynamic pose holding test tubes, dressed in her signature sailor uniform. The game is highlighted as a mega fight tournament, where 11 hypergirls gather at Ryarin Girls Academy. Screenshots depict intense 2D combat with colorful special moves clashing between the characters on various themed stages. The text emphasizes the series' strongest battle and the excitement of the tournament where special techniques explode onto the screen. Commentary from developers or staff discusses the new rules and system implemented in this version to achieve a hot, assertive fighting experience. This release was scheduled for September, bringing high-energy anime fighting action to the console. This page presents features on two different Sega Saturn games. On the left, we have Slayers Royal, an exclusive role-playing game for the console based on the popular Slayers series. It boasts an original scenario supervised by the original author, Hajime Kanzaka, and is described as quite amazing. The artwork features main characters like Lena Inverse and Guri Gabriev, and screenshots show typical RPG elements like character portraits and a battle map. The game is currently available for purchase. The right side focuses on Nightruth, explanation of the paranormal. This title appears to be a mystery or supernatural game, featuring a schoolgirl protagonist. The tagline speaks of hidden evil shadows and hearts invited by darkness being saved by love. The text hints at strange incidents encountered by high school students. It highlights a strong cast of voice actors and is also currently on sale. This page features two distinct games. On the left is the action game Wiz, starring a magical rabbit character. The artwork shows Wiz floating among playing cards. Screenshots depict vibrant, isometric 3D levels, with the rabbit navigating environments that include gardens and block puzzles. The accompanying text introduces Wiz as a rabbit who has fallen into the magical world and must collect items to return, facing various enemies. Wiz was available for both PlayStation and Sega Saturn, released in August 1997. The right side showcases Finalist, known internationally as Tunnel B1, a 3D mission shooting game for the Sega Saturn. The striking artwork features a close-up of a pilot's helmet with fiery effects. The premise involves a secret mission for a powerful agent to stop a madman who has developed a weapon capable of destroying the world. Screenshots show the player controlling a hovercraft vehicle in underground tunnel environments. The game was tuned by Gaga Communications and was scheduled for release in late August 1997. There was also a campaign offering a cool pad as a gift with purchase during a limited period. This page showcases two distinct titles for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Megumi Okina's Summer Love in Miyazaki Sigaya, a virtual date simulation game starring the popular idol Megumi Okina. Set at the Miyazaki Sigaya Resort, the game utilizes a free scenario system allowing players to plan dates and see how conversation choices affect the relationship with Megumi-chan. Live-action footage is used for dates, aiming for a realistic experience. The game was scheduled for release on August 22, 1997, priced at 5,800 yen, excluding tax. There was also a promotional campaign, offering a cool pad accessory with purchase. The right side features Universal Nuts, an anime-style space adventure game. The artwork displays striking character designs and a futuristic setting. The game's narrative explores mysterious sea areas in space. It boasts features like a recollection mode to review key points in the story and introduces a new system. The game features voice acting from several notable actors. Developed by Layup, Universal Nuts was slated for a fall 1997 release, priced at 5,800 yen, excluding tax. The next page features a duo of titles from Nichibutsu for the Sega Saturn. First up is Cross Romance, a romance-adventure game that incorporates both mahjong and hanafuda. Aimed at an older audience, it features anime characters and promises a love story unfolding among high school girls. Releasing on October 2, 1997. So that is Terra Cresta 3D, a modern 3D take on the classic arcade shooter. This revival brings back the iconic transforming ship and fiery bird power-up, already on sale. On the right side, we see promotion for Album Club Centifolia Gakuen. This is an idol-focused game, likely a photo simulator or dating sim, featuring real-life models. The game centers around school-life interactions and the ability to take photos of the girls, currently on sale, and targeting an adult demographic. This page showcases two Sega Saturn titles. One, a continuation of a popular adult romance series, and the other, an action RPG based on a well-known anime. On the left is Can Bunny Extra, an adult-oriented romance-adventure game from Kid, priced at 6,800 yen and set for release on October 2nd. It features colorful anime visuals and promises a slightly adult romance. A smaller ad above also highlights Can Bunny Premiere 2, currently on sale for 3,900 yen. The right side features Bakuretsu Hunter, R, an RPG-style game based on the Bakuretsu Hunter, Sorcerer Hunters, anime/manga series, described as perfect for midsummer and recommended for ages 18 and over due to its sexiness. It features a faithful adaptation of the original story. The game includes fully voiced characters, covers stages 1 through 8, and incorporates minigames like a drinking contest and a Hall of Trials, with 2-player battles also possible. It's priced at 5,800 yen and published by King Records. This page features two distinct areas: an educational game about the human body on the left, and a report on a live event for a popular franchise on the right. On the left is Lifescape 2, Total Body Bionics, an educational simulation game that won the CISA Award 96 in the Education Game Division. It's described as a journey through the mystery-filled micro-universe of the human body, covering various systems like the heart, digestion, muscles, and immunity. Published by MediaQuest, it invites players to explore the complex mechanisms within us. The right side is part of the Saturn Kingdom column, dedicated to Sega Saturn information. The main feature is a detailed report on a gorgeous live song show event for the Sakura Wars series. It covers the performance by the cast, captured in several photos showing the actors on stage in costume. The column also includes other regular segments such as sales rankings and game performance tables, but the highlight is the exclusive look at the Sakura Wars event. This page acts as a reader submission form and survey for Saturn Fan Magazine's 16th issue, designed to be sent in as a postcard. Readers can apply for presents offered by the magazine, indicating their desired items from a numbered list, and providing personal details such as age and gender. There's a dedicated section for reporting scores or achievements in various Saturn games, featuring a list of titles like Resident Evil, Mega Man X4, Last Bronx, and Langrisser IV, alongside other notable games such as Slayers Royal and D's Dinner. The forum also includes fields for contact information and provides space for general reader feedback to the magazine. This page kicks off with an event report on the Toyota and Sega Racing Festa 97 at Joyopolis locations, where pro drivers and voice actors teamed up with fans for racing games, quizzes, and air hockey, promising a day packed with action. Running concurrently, the monthly Saturn Festa also saw great success, highlighted by Mini 4WD Racing and teasing upcoming titles like Last Bronx and Devil Summoner. Soul Hackers. On the hardware front, Victor's new twin operator RGVC3 accessory is introduced, offering enhanced video CD and MPEG playback capabilities, PAL support, and a welcome price reduction compared to its predecessor. Fans of Developer Warp can now check out their newly launched homepage, promising developer insights, event news, and communication forums. We get a rundown of new music releases, including a Sega Vocal Entertainment Collection featuring tracks from various Sega games, an album titled Empire by composer Kenji Ito, and the soundtrack for the unique adventure title, Real Sound, Kaze no Regret. There's also a report from an event for Langrisser IV and the PS port of Langrisser I and II, where voice actors met with fans for talks and Q&A sessions. Finally, the page features the Dynamite present giveaway, offering prizes like the Virtua Fighter 3 WINPC collection, a celebrity phone card, or tickets to a Robination event. Application details are provided, along with a listing of winners from a previous issue's contest. This page delves into the latest gaming trends with Ranking Street, presenting data based on sales and reader surveys. The first section covers Saturn sales rankings for 2 weeks in July 1997. The first week saw Real Sound, Kaze no Regret debut at number 1, followed by Silhouette Mirage. The following week, Slayers Royal exploded onto the scene, taking the top spot with massive sales, while Resident Evil also performed strongly, pushing Real Sound down, but still showing solid numbers. The commentary notes the impact of animated series like Slayers driving game sales and the continued strong performance of Resident Evil. The popularity ranking shows Sakura Wars remaining the top choice, followed by Super Robot Wars F and Grandia. The section highlights the strong performance of established series and notes the entry of Neon Genesis Evangelion digital card library into the charts, reflecting the anime's popularity. A unique database software ranking is also included, surprisingly placing high among game rankings. Finally, the desired ports ranking reveals what Saturn fans are hoping to see brought to the console. Neon Genesis Evangelion, Girlfriend of Steel, takes the number 1 spot, followed closely by the King of Fighters 97 and the House of the Dead. The commentary notes KOF 97's significant leap in the rankings and the high demand for these popular titles, especially arcade ports. This page presents the Ranking Street section, focusing on reader rankings and game reviews. It features a detailed reader-voted ranking table for games released on the Sega Saturn, highlighting reader scores and overall impressions. The top spot is claimed by Quiz 99 Dreams Rainbow-Colored Miracle from Capcom, a unique blend of quiz gameplay and love-adventure elements. The page dedicates a significant portion to this top-ranked game, including reader comments that praise its fun quiz questions, engaging characters, and the successful integration of dating simulation elements. Players enjoyed the mix of genres and found the characters appealing. The reviews discuss the balance of difficulty and the overall enjoyable experience provided by this arcade port. Additional sections provide further commentary, including insights potentially from developers or critics, discussing aspects like the transition from arcade to home console and the game's overall quality. This page clearly showcases the reader's enthusiasm for innovative genre hybrids and beloved arcade titles making their way to the Saturn. This page continues the Ranking Street section, presenting more reader-voted game rankings. Coming in second is Mr. Bones, highly praised for its unique atmosphere, standout music, and engaging rhythm and action gameplay. Readers enthusiastically called it, "This is cool," enjoying the clever integration of the character's skeletal structure into the mechanics. The maker noted the game's distinctive humor. Third place features Harukaze Sentai V-Force, where readers liked the character designs and the blend of simulation and shooting with animation elements. However, some found the scenario lacking depth and mentioned unbalanced difficulty. The developer acknowledged feedback and plans for future titles. Digital Angel SS takes fourth place. Players appreciated the graphical quality, noting improvements from its PC Engine origin, and the enhanced character designs and story changes. While the depiction of character psychology was a positive, some felt the ending was too sudden. Fifth is Shiryu, described as an intense shooting game. Readers found the gameplay challenging but highlighted issues with weapon balance, particularly the missile, and a disappointing ending. Rounding out the featured rankings is Teitoku no Ketsudan 2 Eyes. Readers noted graphical improvements over previous entries, but criticized the slow pace and lack of dynamism in the historical scenario progression. The maker mentioned incorporating player feedback into the development. Please provide the text you would like me to summarize. This page presents the latest ranking street, where Sega Saturn players offer their candid feedback on various titles, ranked from 13th to 19th place, alongside responses from the game developers. Games featured include the fighting game Fighters History Dynamite, noted for its difficulty and inputs, a soccer title World Evolution Soccer with comments on player movement, and the political simulation Seiji Rishiden, which players found engaging but sometimes overly reliant on chance. Also reviewed are the shooting game Crime Wave and the tennis sim Breakpoint, with players discussing controls and realism. Adventure game Mooncradle and the 3D shooter Crazy Iron also appear, with comments on puzzles and atmosphere respectively. This section provides a great snapshot of player sentiment right after release. The page also solicits reader reviews for upcoming games, listing titles like Resident Evil for future features. This page dives deep into the real-time ranking, a comprehensive list of Sega Saturn games based on reader votes. It kicks off with the top titles, showing Sakura Taisen leading the pack, followed by Daisen Ryaku, and the visual novel Even Burst Error. The ranking extends for hundreds of titles, reflecting player sentiment and vote counts, where positive and negative points contribute to a final score and ranking shift. Beyond the main ranking, there's a ranking report, discussing how this system captures the current player satisfaction, highlighting the sustained popularity of hit games like Sakura Taisen, and even older titles like Tokimeki Memorial, proving they still resonate with players. Additionally, there's a Saturn Software Top 20, based on game performance, which seems like a different metric. This list features powerhouses like Virtua Fighter 2, Puyo Puyo 2, Datana Twinbee, and Virtua Fighter, indicating strong sales or other performance indicators alongside player reception. It's clear that fighting games and puzzle titles were massive hits on the platform during this period. The page effectively summarizes the player landscape and commercial success metrics for Saturn software at the time. This page features a split layout covering two distinct games. On the left, we delve into GI Battle Grand Prix, a horse racing simulation. It details a special event focused on finding the best 4-year-old horse, showcasing the results of a simulated Arima Kinnin race, where Terramute Ekiyor emerged victorious. The section also highlights various rankings within the game, like top jockeys, owners, and breeders, and even provides a password for the winning horse. The right side shifts gears entirely to the fighting game Last Bronx. This is presented as a strategy guide titled Strategy to Win Attractively, and promises to teach players the techniques to dominate. It features dynamic screenshots of the game's characters in action, emphasizing skillful play. The guide outlines the game's basic systems and likely delves into character-specific strategies and advanced moves like aerial combos, empowering players to master the game's mechanics and defeat their opponents. This page continues the deep dive into the strategy of Last Bronx, focusing on its core mechanics. The guide breaks down the fundamental systems crucial for competitive play, specifically the attack cancel, AC, and the evasive maneuver, Suburi. It explains how attack cancel allows players to interrupt their attack animations, which can be used effectively for feinting to bait the opponent's guard or actions. A key benefit highlighted is the ability to significantly reduce recovery time after certain moves by canceling, opening up more opportunities. However, a critical weakness of AC is also detailed: vulnerability to throws during its initial frames, demonstrating how opponents can punish predictable AC usage. The other major defensive system discussed is the evasive maneuver, P plus K plus G. This move allows characters to evade incoming high and mid-level attacks by briefly shifting position. While powerful for avoiding standard pressure, the guide emphasizes its vulnerability to low attacks and throws. The page shows how evasive maneuvers can be integrated into wake-up strategy, offering a defensive option to escape pressure, but again, beware of opponents predicting this and using lows or throws. The guide also points out that Nagi possesses a particularly high-performance evasive maneuver compared to other characters. Mastering the timing and application of both AC and evasive maneuvers, while understanding their inherent risks, is presented as essential for high-level play in Last Bronx. This page breaks down Last Bronx's core mechanics, attack cancel, and evasive maneuvers, detailing their uses and weaknesses in strategic play. This page details advanced Last Bronx strategies covering movement, down attacks, guaranteed throws, and stagger mechanics, building on fundamental techniques. This page continues the exploration of competitive play in Last Bronx, moving beyond basic movement and defense to discuss more nuanced techniques. It covers the strategic use of delay and quick forward for precision spacing and execution. The importance of attacking downed opponents is stressed as a highly effective tactic. A major section focuses on situations where throws are guaranteed, presenting representative examples for characters like Yusaku, Joe, Lisa, Tommy, Yoko, Kurosawa, Nagi, and Zaimoku, highlighting throws that connect reliably after an opponent guards. Universal counter throws available to all characters are also listed. The guide explains how the crouching quick forward movement can be used specifically to evade incoming high attacks and illustrates the differences in application between standard command throws and the universal Phi plus G throw. Finally, the page discusses inducing staggers in opponents, providing examples of character-specific moves that cause this vulnerable state, allowing players to follow up with further offense. Screenshots demonstrate these concepts in action, providing visual context for the techniques described. This page delves into advanced character strategies for Last Bronx, focusing on Yusaku and Joe. Yusaku, while lacking overwhelming raw power, excels in combination attacks and effective use of attack cancel. The guide highlights his sonic elbow as a core offensive tool and provides tips for mastering accessible aerial combos. Joe, on the other hand, is presented as a powerhouse, leveraging fast mid-range attacks like the Tempest Straight and Slash Axle, perfect for overwhelming opponents and controlling spacing. His section emphasizes building powerful combos, centered around the cutting spin attack cancel, and executing devastating aerial combinations. Both characters' sections are illustrated with multiple screenshots, demonstrating key moves and strategic applications, guiding players on how to maximize their potential in competitive matches. This page continues the deep dive into advanced strategies for characters in Last Bronx, moving on to Lisa and Tommy. Lisa is highlighted as a character who excels at controlling the tempo and rhythm of the fight, using tricky, hard-to-read moves. Her core strategy revolves around the backbeat double low and effective use of throws. The guide emphasizes launching opponents with moves like the backbeat double low into aerial combos, and notes the effectiveness of her low attacks, which are difficult to guard. Screenshots illustrate her key attacks and follow-ups after hits and guards. Tommy is presented as a tricky fighter whose strength lies in surprising opponents. His primary offensive tool is the chain collapse, Renkotsukan, which is best used with delayed timing to catch opponents off guard. The guide points out his unique ability to dodge certain mid-level attacks by crouching. While complicated aerial combos are discussed, they are often difficult to land effectively, making Tommy's strength lie more in his strategic pressure and unconventional timing. Screenshots demonstrate the chain collapse and Tommy dodging attacks. Both sections aim to provide players with insights into mastering these characters' unique playstyles. This page of the Last Bronx Strategy Guide delves into the advanced tactics for two more formidable fighters, Yoko and Kurosawa. Yoko's section emphasizes her ability to capitalize on floating opponents, focusing on stable aerial combos stemming from high-risk, high-return launchers. Her strategy revolves around mastering moves like the triple knock AC for its offensive potential, and using techniques like Scratch Hammer effectively from various situations. The guide illustrates follow-ups after hits and guards, showing how to maintain pressure or punish mistakes. Kurosawa is presented as a master of dynamic pressure and achieving a mental edge. His approach involves relentless attacks and using specific, impactful combos like the Yell combo and Extreme AC to overwhelm opponents. These moves are highlighted for their ability to both hit and bait reactions, allowing Kurosawa to mix up his offense. The guide details sequences, starting from his key attacks, demonstrating how to maximize damage and keep the opponent guessing. Both sections provide detailed breakdowns of essential moves and combo sequences, with accompanying screenshots to visually guide players in mastering these characters' unique fighting styles. This page of the Last Bronx Strategy Guide focuses on two more distinct fighters, Nagi and Zaimoku. Nagi is presented as a character who excels with quick successive attacks and versatile dive techniques to keep opponents guessing. Her strategy revolves around speed and using moves like middle thrust and side AC as core components of her offense and combos, including strong air combos. The guide also highlights tactics involving her rose spin kick, showing setups from hits and guards. Screenshots illustrate various hits, guards, and combos for Nagi, emphasizing the practical application of her techniques. Zaimoku's section centers on his unique body throw move, described as a low-risk technique that can change the flow of battle. A primary tactic for Zaimoku is utilizing his potent worker bomb attack, which is effective against grounded opponents and can be incorporated into powerful combos. The guide details follow-ups from the worker bomb, including sequences that lead to wall combos and significant damage. Screenshots display the body throw, various stages of the worker bomb attack, and examples of Zaimoku's combos, demonstrating his hard-hitting style. This page delves into hidden techniques for Last Bronx, revealing how to change character weapons and unlock additional CPU battle difficulty levels. The weapon changes are purely cosmetic, showing humorous items like a toy train for Yusaku, corn for Joe, a ladle and spatula for Lisa, a deck brush for Tommy, a folding umbrella for Yoko, a spoon and fork for Nagi, a paper fan for Kurosawa, and a frozen tuna for Zaimoku. The guide explains a method involving holding left or right on the D-pad during character selection to access these. More substantially, it reveals that achieving OK 256 times or more in the training dojo unlocks new difficulty settings for CPU battles: hard, berserk, and throw, offering more challenging opponents. Separately, the right side of the page features a detailed strategy guide for Langrisser IV, covering maps up to Scenario 20. It provides information on initial unit placements, enemy types, hidden item locations like gold and a knife, and suggested battle flows for each scenario. Specific details are given for Scenario 1, Village Dyed Red, and Scenario 2, Wandering Warrior, including maps with numbered points indicating key locations and unit lists. The guide aims to help players strategize based on character classes and enemy forces. Please provide the text you would like me to summarize. This page is a detailed strategy guide for Scenarios 9 through 14 of Langrisser 2I. It provides tactical breakdowns for each stage, including maps showing unit deployment points and key locations. For each scenario, the guide lists the enemy units you will face, offers strategic advice on how to approach the battle, and reveals the locations and conditions for finding hidden items or triggering special events. Key characters from the game, such as Bulk, Emily, Lanford, Angelina, and others, are mentioned in the scenario descriptions, often related to specific events or objectives. The guide highlights challenging aspects and offers tips on unit composition and movement to overcome enemy formations, including details on navigating terrain like water or defending fortified positions. It's an essential resource for players looking to maximize their performance and uncover secrets in these specific tactical RPG battles. The next page features a comprehensive strategy guide for Scenarios 15 through 20A of Langrisser VI. It breaks down each battle, providing detailed maps that illustrate the terrain and initial unit placements. For each scenario, it offers crucial tactical advice, outlining the primary objectives, identifying key enemy units and their strengths, and suggesting optimal strategies for deployment and combat. The guide covers a range of challenging battles, from fighting a formidable Steel Legion and engaging in a large-scale naval conflict in Imes Bay, to navigating treacherous maps like Masked Magician, Double Cross, Loudon's Trap, and the climactic decisive battle, Stollenberg Castle. Players are given tips on how to handle specific enemy types, utilize the environment, and overcome difficult situations, such as dealing with powerful machine crossbows or specific character threats. The guide also points out the location for a hidden item in Scenario 15, rewarding players who follow the instructions closely. It's an essential resource for players looking to master the intricate tactical battles presented in these stages of the game. This page delves into the character and class change system for Langrisser IV. It explains how your protagonist's starting class and subsequent class change paths are determined by your answers to specific questions at the start of the game. Questions 1 and 2 dictate your character's class progression across 3 tiers, and even unlock hidden classes. An example is provided showing how specific answers lead to a particular class tree, like Knight greater than Silver, Knight greater than Battlemaster, greater than Swordmaster. From question 3 onwards, your answers influence the initial ability values of your protagonist and impact the friendship levels with the heroines. The text lists multiple questions and how different responses provide bonuses to various stats like strength, defense, skill, MP, intellect, and friendship, with specific characters such as Rachel, Shelfaniel, Angelina, Selena, Listeel, Ari, and alignment. The page also provides the class change trees for several key ally characters you recruit throughout the game, including Ricky, McLaren, Shelfaniel, Angelina, Rachel, Selena, and Lanford. It outlines their potential paths, allowing players to plan their development. The text adds brief commentary on recommended paths or characteristics for some allies, like Angelina's strength as a flyer, or Lanford's recommended infantry/flyer routes. This page focuses on a guide for Slayers Royal, covering the late-game stretch from the white magic city of Sarun up to Tool City, serving as preparation for the final battle. It details important events and strategies in locations like Sarun, the Lartigue Kingdom border, and Tool City itself, including encounters with bounty hunters, a priest, thieves, and battles within the underground waterway. The guide provides specific tips for tackling different enemies and highlights the importance of visiting item shops in Tool City to gear up. Screenshots show battle scenes and character portraits featuring the familiar Slayers cast, like Lena Inverse, Guri Gabriev, Zelgadis Greywords, Amelia Wiltesla Seirun, and Silfiel Nels Lahda. The content acts as a detailed support guide for players nearing the climax of the story, emphasizing thorough preparation. It also notes this is the second part of the guide series. This page dives into The Literary Fragment, a gripping suspense horror game that blends detective work with elements of Cthulhu mythology. It kicks off by setting the scene. A horrific multiple murder has occurred in a mansion where the protagonist, a cynical private detective, also resides. The guide introduces the diverse cast of characters living in the mansion, offering brief profiles on key figures like the victim's colleague, an enigmatic antique dealer, a suspicious collector, and various other residents whose lives are intertwined with the case. It then details the progression of the mystery, covering subsequent murders and crucial checkpoints for investigation. You'll learn about searching rooms, identifying suspicious areas to click on, and deciphering clues hidden within objects like clocks or nursery rhymes to advance. Beyond the core investigation, the page touches upon the complex human relationships within the mansion, highlighting potential romantic entanglements or forbidden feelings between characters, adding layers to the unfolding drama. The guide emphasizes that the mystery deepens with each new victim, keeping players on their toes as they work to uncover the truth behind the gruesome events. This page dives deep into the world of Tokimeki Memorial, highlighting new releases and promotional activities. It announces upcoming CD singles for popular characters Shiori Fujisaki and Saki Nijino, alongside a screensaver collection. The major focus is on the puzzle game spin-off, Tokimeki Memorial Taisen Puzzle Dama. The page showcases characters like Rei Ijuin and Minako Kotobuki, and explains simple strategies for creating large combos in the game, illustrated with block arrangements. There's a report on the completion screening event for the Tokimeki Memorial movie, featuring photos of the voice cast, including Kanae, the voice of Saki Nijino, and the director. Promotional items related to the movie and game are also featured, such as a teleka, telephone card, giveaway, and commemorative glasses adorned with chibi versions of the characters, which are expected to be available at arcades. It's clear the franchise is expanding across multiple media. This page is a deep dive into the game Hop Step Idol, presented as a special feature for the 5th installment. It's an idol-raising simulation game where players nurture aspiring idols, managing their careers and lives. The feature introduces key female idols like Kuwanohara Tomomi and Kota Yumi, highlighting their personalities and roles. The game flow involves scouting and training idols, taking on various jobs from acting to modeling, and crucially, building relationships which can even lead to dating events. There are also casual outings with the idols. The page details different scenarios and events within the game. It also announces the game's participation in the Tokyo Game Show 97 Autumn, and includes interviews with the voice actors, giving readers insight into the cast behind the characters. The magazine is also running a giveaway for autographed items. It's clear this game offers a comprehensive simulation experience focused on the idol industry, building on similar relationship-focused gameplay seen in other popular simulation titles of the era. This page features a prominent visual on the left, advertising the Sega Saturn tactical simulation game, Legend of Galactic Heroes Plus. The illustration depicts key characters from the series, alongside a large spaceship, emphasizing the epic scale. The text highlights the game's high-quality CGI, and the inclusion of 36 voice actors, for a realistic experience, promising a faithful adaptation of the popular space opera. Release information for the game is also provided. On the right side, the page shifts focus to the Conehead Club, presented as a summer-themed fan corner. This section is a collection of reader contributions, including short articles, anecdotes, and manga strips. Readers share their gaming experiences and thoughts, mentioning titles like Gran Turismo, Desire, Langrisser, and even referencing anime like Evangelion. The tone is informal and personal, covering topics from game impressions to funny incidents related to gaming. It's a lively section reflecting the community aspect of the magazine. This page continues the Conehead Club community section with reader contributions and fan art. Readers share diverse opinions in the Kids Hope and Network Board areas, discussing the strengths of Sega Saturn versus PlayStation, game impressions for titles like Grandia and Sakura Wars, and general thoughts on the gaming landscape, including Final Fantasy Version 2. The Voices of Transplantation Hope section highlights reader desires for specific games to be ported to the Saturn, notably requesting titles from the Shining series, Final Fantasy Vion Vis, Indy 500, The House of the Dead, and Atelier Marie. The Sega AM Freak section showcases fan art related to Sega AM Division games like Terra Fantastica. Finally, the illustration gallery features a wide range of fan art covering various popular and niche titles such as Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, Virus, Real Sound, Air's Adventure, and the much-loved Princess Crown. This page continues the Conehead Club fan section, opening with a call for new supporters to contribute illustrations, text, and game impressions for the magazine. Various sections are dedicated to popular titles and media, featuring fan art and reader comments. The Taigeki Imperial Guard section showcases passion for Sakura Wars, discussing the stage show and voice actors alongside fan art of the main cast. The Lunar Magic Guild highlights the Lunar series with fan art, while the Dragon Force Friends Association returns, encouraging contributions for this tactical RPG and featuring character art. Tokimeki Memorial fans share their experiences, including data loss mishaps. In My Favorite Game, readers champion titles like Shining Force 2i and Terra Fantastica, praising their RPG systems and character designs. The EVA Complementation Committee focuses on Neon Genesis Evangelion, discussing merchandise and displaying fan art of key characters. The page also includes a queue and a section where the editorial team addresses reader queries about contributions and magazine content, along with submission guidelines for fan art and text, reflecting the vibrant community engagement seen throughout the fan pages. This page features a reader survey and prize giveaway, where 50 readers can win one of 10 different Sega Saturn games. The survey asks readers about their background, what other magazines they read, the gaming hardware they own, their gaming habits, and their opinions on the current issue's articles and specific Sega Saturn titles featured in the magazine. The prizes are a selection of Sega Saturn games, including notable titles like Super Robot Taisen F, X-Men vs. Street Fighter Collection, and Tinkle Star Sprites, alongside others like J.League Pro Soccer Club, Otsukuru 2, Machi, Desire, Tactical Fighter, and Roommate Natsuko in Summer Vacation. There's also an intriguing entry for Zelda Nashiruto. Readers needed to fill out the survey on a postcard and mail it by the August 28th deadline. The page also provides reference lists for the survey questions, covering articles, other magazines, available hardware, and a large list of Sega Saturn games, along with detailed instructions on how to correctly fill out the survey postcard. This page presents a comprehensive list of nearly 700 Sega Saturn games, available up to August 7th, 1997, organized by genre, including fighting, action, RPG, simulation, adventure, and racing. This extensive database serves as a key reference. Readers likely use this list to identify games by number for survey questions, such as those on the previous page asking about favorite titles. The list highlights the breadth of the Saturn's library at the time, featuring many iconic games like Virtua Fighter, Nights into Dreams, Panzer Dragoon Saga, Shining Force 2i, Myst, Sega Rally Championship, and Radiant Silvergun. This page is a deep dive into a strategy guide for the game Yukyu Gensukyoku, Enduring Fantasia, a popular dating sim RPG hybrid. It's part of the Game Research Lab section, offering players tips to get the most out of the game. The focus is on managing the game's one-year time limit and, crucially, building strong relationships with the game's 10 main heroines. Aleph, Chris, Cheryl, Sierra, Patty, Maria, Pete, Elle, Melody, and Lisa. The guide explains how raising trust with companions is key to progression and offers detailed advice on how to interact with each specific character, what kind of conversations work, what actions to take, and their preferences. It also covers strategies for repeating successful jobs to earn income efficiently, and tips for clearing the Shugoroku board game sections. Screenshots show characters interacting in elements of gameplay, illustrating the relationship building and activity management aspects. This guide is clearly aimed at helping players optimize their gameplay and successfully navigate the complex web of character relationships. This page features a detailed strategy guide for the game Full Cowl Mini 4 WD Super Factory. It serves as a comprehensive manual for both beginners and experienced players, breaking down the essentials of Mini 4 WD customization and racing. The guide emphasizes understanding the characteristics of various parts and finding the optimal setup for different courses. It explains how additional parts are acquired after clearing rounds and how these upgrades are crucial for progression. There are sections detailing basic part settings, including tires, wheels, rollers, and gears, along with analysis of additional parts like different body types, Gunma, Omega, DACM, motors, Super, Hyper, Ultra, and tuning items. The guide also provides strategies for tackling each specific course type: high speed, sky circuit, technical, land circuit, and composite, ocean circuit. It outlines the key points of each track, recommends specific parts and settings tailored to the course's layout, straightaways versus corners, and even lists target clear times for each round on every circuit. Screenshots illustrate various aspects, such as the part selection and customization interface, diagrams showing roller and tire setups, and views of the different racetracks. The guide aims to help players optimize their Mini 4WD performance, master course layouts, and achieve victory by carefully selecting and tuning their car. It even touches upon optimizing for speed in versus play, using specific parts like the Omega body and Ultra Hyper motor. This page features a comprehensive strategy guide for the visual novel game Magical Girl Pretty Sammy. Fearful body measurement. Nuclear explosion 5 seconds before. The focus is on helping players achieve 100% completion and witness every possible scene by providing a detailed flowchart of the game's numerous branching points. The guide explains that the game features many choices that subtly alter the story's progression, necessitating multiple playthroughs to see everything. It presents Flowchart Part 1 and Part 2, breaking down the narrative structure from the game's start through the pivotal body measurement event. The flowchart visually maps out the consequences of each major decision, illustrating how choices lead to different scenes and outcomes. A particularly highlighted section details the body measurement part, which involves multiple potential pairings: Sammy and AI, Sammy and Ryo, Sammy and Sasami, and decision paths that lead to varying results like success or failure, ultimately influencing the subsequent story. This guide is essential for players dedicated to uncovering all the secrets and variations within this unique game. This page continues the strategy guide for Magical Girl Pretty Sammy. Fearful body measurement. Presenting Flowchart Part 3, which navigates the complex decision points in the latter half of the game, focusing on exploring the school locations to find specific characters. The main feature shifts to a report on 3 significant titles from Especially, a publishing label formerly known as GD.net, formed by prominent software houses. Omis. Highlighted is Grandia Prelude, a preview or trial version of the highly anticipated RPG. The report details impressions from playing this initial release, indicating high expectations for the full game. Also showcased are Silhouette Mirage, developed by Treasure and Chaos Seed, Feng Shui Chronicle from Neverland Company, presenting screenshots and positioning them as key titles from this collaborative publishing effort, underscoring their potential impact on the Sega Saturn's future library. This page dives deeper into Grandia. Building on the previous coverage of the trial version, it gathers impressions from players of Grandia Prelude, highlighting praise for the visual quality, the immersive atmosphere, and the well-crafted characters like Justin and the mysterious Liette. The world is depicted as rich and detailed, with engaging interactions in towns and dungeons. The battle system is explored, emphasizing its strategic depth and real-time elements that require quick thinking. Excitingly, it's announced that the full Grandia game will be playable at the Tokyo Game Show in September, giving fans a chance to experience more of this highly anticipated RPG firsthand. The page features numerous screenshots showcasing the diverse environments, character interactions, and dynamic battles, reinforcing the high expectations set by the preview. This page shifts focus to Silhouette Mirage, exploring its fundamental system in stages 5 and 6, based on a sample room. The core concept highlighted is the two attributes, Silhouetted and Mirage, that the player character, Shina Nira Shina, possesses. Her attribute changes depending on which way she is facing. The article explains how combat is heavily reliant on these attributes. Attacking enemies of the opposite attribute is effective, while attacking those with the same attribute is not. Similarly, damage taken varies based on the attributes of Shina and her attacker. Beyond basic attacks like shooting and reflecting projectiles, which is effective against same attribute enemies, the game features diverse actions. Players can grab enemies to throw or punch them, and utilize dashing and sliding for movement and offensive maneuvers, such as attacking while crouching or climbing walls. The page features screenshots demonstrating these different combat actions and the attribute system in action. This page covers Silhouette Mirage's Stage 5 inside Prince Adam and Stage 6 nearing the end, introducing bosses like Assassin, Master Commander, Megiddo, and Gulgarin, plus game shops. The game takes players into strange environments, including the belly of a giant creature, featuring diverse enemies like the spider-like assassin and the formidable Gulgarin as the final battle approaches. Screenshots show intense combat and the shop interface for upgrading weapons. This page dives deep into the basic system of Chaos Seed, Fusui Kagiden, revisiting the core concepts of the game. It explains the objective, building a mystical dungeon, the Senkutsu, to revitalize the desolate land. The key mechanic involves finding underground factors, which yield energy, elixirs, and items. These factors are crucial for building rooms, as different rooms require specific factor types beneath them to produce resources. The article highlights the importance of room placement, as it determines the room's elemental attribute, wood, fire, earth, metal, water, which in turn affects compatibility between adjacent rooms. There's a diagram illustrating the elemental relationships, showing which elements are compatible and incompatible, impacting how ki flows between rooms and grants special abilities or weaknesses. The page also discusses room sizes, presenting large and small room options with their respective benefits and drawbacks regarding resource gathering and enemy defense. It outlines the overall game loop, which involves constructing rooms, generating and collecting energy from them, injecting that energy back into the land to restore it, and defending against invaders who attack your dungeon. The main character, Wakaba Mark, is introduced as the protagonist undertaking this vital mission. Screenshots display the map view showing factor locations, the room selection interface, the room attribute assignment screen, combat encounters with invaders, and the main character art. This page continues the detailed breakdown of Chaos Seed, Fusui Kagiden, focusing on the different types of rooms you can construct within your Senkutsu and the game's progression. It outlines 8 distinct room types, each with a vital function. The production room generates energy, excavation rooms dig up items, storage rooms manage your resources, training rooms cultivate elixir for upgrades, transfer rooms allow fast movement across the map, search rooms help locate enemies, summoning rooms call powerful senju spirits to aid you, and attack rooms provide defensive capabilities against intruders. Screenshots show these rooms and various UE elements. Combat is a critical part of the game. You'll face invaders attempting to destroy your Senkutsu. The page emphasizes fighting alongside your summoned Senju companions to defend your base. Screenshots depict combat sequences and different enemy types. Key characters are also introduced, including the heroine, who serves as a supportive figure, and Master Sansakai, an ancient elder with deep knowledge of the land. The game's ultimate objective involves collecting the energy generated by your rooms and channeling it into specific points called Dragon's Lairs. This energy injection process gradually restores the desolate land. Once the land is revitalized, your mission in that area is complete, and you advance to the next challenging Senkutsu location. The gameplay loop revolves around this strategic building, resource management, and defensive combat. Understanding Chaos Seed with manga. From the Senkutsu with Loveheart Episode 4 is a comedic manga explaining gameplay mechanics. The comic, featuring character Dowson, humorously addresses a long break, then teaches room building in the Senkutsu base. Key room types: production, alchemy, summoning, and the importance of defending against invaders are explained. Meta humor, involving developer Kashiwagi-sama, and the artist's control over the protagonist, further adds to the comedic tone. The page concludes with a list of game requirements and a reader submission box. Quote, "This page features a special project showcasing image photos inspired by the game Real Sound. Kaze, no regret." Readers submitted photos intended to evoke memories and feelings connected to the game's themes. Game director Kenji Ino personally reviewed the submissions and selected the photos presented here. He also chose his top 3 favorites, awarding them the Gold, Silver, and Bronze Ino Regret Awards. An interview with Kenji Ino discusses his impressions of the diverse memories captured in the photos. He reflects on the game's unique nature, its reception in the market, and briefly mentions future projects like D2 and the possibility of Real Sound sequels. The page displays several of the selected photos, including the award winners, such as a striking image of a cat next to a bicycle and a vivid shot of a swimming pool. Each photo includes details about the submitter and Ino's personal commentary on the image. Finally, there's a brief announcement for an exhibition promoting Ino's next game, Enemy Zero, offering readers a chance to win tickets. This page presents a mix of content featuring the acclaimed Studio Ghibli film Princess Mononoke and an in-depth look at the Sega Saturn game Machi. The left side showcases the breathtaking artwork and details of the movie Princess Mononoke, directed by Hayao Miyazaki. It highlights the film's release and a range of related merchandise for fans, including art books and film comics. On the right, we get a continue report on the Sega Saturn visual novel Mashai. This update focuses on a new reveal, the 5th scenario, titled The Freeder Girl's Struggle to Lose Weight, which introduces the game's first female protagonist, Hosoi Yoshiko. The report includes images of the actors portraying Yoshiko and other key characters in this scenario, suggesting a focus on personal drama and relationships within the game's narrative. It touches on Yoshiko's challenging situation involving her boyfriend and a strict weight loss demand. This page dives deeper into one of the compelling scenarios in the Sega Saturn game Machi, focusing on Miko's weight loss operation. It highlights the protagonist, Hosoi Yoshiko, referred to here as Miko, and her desperate efforts to lose a significant amount of weight after being pressured by her boyfriend. The page details various extreme methods Miko attempts in her struggle, showcasing screenshots of her trying everything from intense exercise and jogging to beauty treatments, pressure point therapy, saunas, and even resorting to laxatives. There's a graph illustrating her weight loss progress and a caution against pushing herself too hard. A fascinating aspect explored is how characters from other interconnected scenarios in Makachi intersect with Miko's story. It shows brief encounters she has with figures like the otaku detective Keima, the enigmatic Sanji, the photographer Ichikawa, and characters involved in the Ushio scenario, demonstrating the game's intricate narrative web where the lives of different protagonists intertwine in unexpected ways. The article questions whether Miko will ultimately succeed in her challenging weight loss journey. This page dives into the intricate world of the Sega Saturn visual novel, Desire, following the protagonist Alu through the initial 2 days of events on a secluded island research facility. The article details Alu's perspective as he navigates life on the island, highlighting key interactions and the sudden onset of mysterious incidents that disrupt the peaceful setting. Featured characters include Tina, shown in a lively screenshot and artwork, and Cheryl, introduced with her own character portrait and dialogue screens that suggest important conversations. Martina is also prominent, with sections dedicated to interviewing her and uncovering her perspective on the truth behind the Desire organization and the island itself. The narrative appears to involve intriguing plot points, like potential danger related to the seawater. The page features character art and multiple in-game screenshots showcasing dialogue interfaces and environmental scenes, including beach settings. There's also a small box with basic game data such as release date and genre. The overall tone suggests a narrative-driven experience filled with mystery and unfolding drama. This page delves deeper into the unfolding drama of the Sega Saturn visual novel, Desire. We see moments focusing on Sylvia's internal struggles and her complex feelings about appearing feminine, including a revealing scene with Albert. The plot thickens with Tina's disappearance and Makoto's meeting with Kaito, hinting at strange behavior from Makoto. A dramatic turning point is highlighted, with Kazumi shooting the frenzied Chris, leaving questions about the consequences. We also get a look at Tina's personality through her memorable quotes and daily life, alongside a fascinating section on character design, showing the process from sketches to final art, and revealing details like Cheryl's outfit layers, and the surprising nature of Tina's supposed t-shirt and shorts. The page showcases various character expressions, emphasizing their importance in conveying emotion. This page features a detailed look at the fighting game, Dead or Alive. It focuses on two key characters, Yan Li and Lei Fang, highlighting their stories and fighting styles. Yan Li is presented as a Jeet Kune Do practitioner, searching for something, potentially inspired by seeing martial arts heroes as an orphan. The page showcases screenshots of his moves, including a front facelock and dragon elbow, emphasizing the power and range of his techniques. Lei Feng, a master of Tai Chi Quan, is seeking Yan Li due to a past encounter. Her section describes her as someone who has refined her skills and features screenshots demonstrating her graceful yet powerful moves, like the twin phoenix ears and 7-inch strike. The page also includes character select screens for both fighters and notes their connection, setting the stage for their rivalry or interaction within the tournament. This spread serves as a follow-up report on the game's development. This page provides a development report on the Street Fighter collection, confirming it includes 3 titles: Street Fighter II Champion Edition, Street Fighter II Turbo, Hyper Fighting, and Street Fighter Alpha 2. The article highlights the faithful porting of these classic arcade games to the Saturn. It delves into the details of the porting process, noting the inclusion of super combos and accurate representation of moves like M. Bison's Psycho Crusher in the Street Fighter II ports. For Street Fighter Alpha 2, it discusses the addition of new techniques, modes, and extra characters who boast abilities reminiscent of their Street Fighter II iterations, such as Ryu, Ken, Sagat, and M. Bison. A particularly interesting addition is the Shin Akuma mode, focusing solely on battling the powerful character, Akuma. The report also touches on new techniques added for various characters in Alpha 2, mentioning Sakura and Guy specifically, and simplifies the input for original combos, making them easier to execute. The screenshots showcase characters like Ryu, Chun-Li, E. Honda, Sakura, Guy, Akuma, and M. Bison performing various special moves and super combos, emphasizing the visual fidelity of the port. The overall tone is positive, suggesting a strong and feature-rich collection is on the way. This page covers Tactical Fighter, a simulation game focused on raising a young girl named Toon to become a powerful fighter over a 3-year period. The goal is to train her to win a martial arts tournament and rescue her father. The game involves managing Toon's daily schedule, which includes various activities like training, working part-time jobs to earn money, and taking breaks to refresh her body and mind. Training sessions are dedicated to improving her physical abilities, while seminars offer a faster way to boost stats by learning theory. Practical tests come in the form of challenge matches against different opponents, allowing Toon to test her skills and gain experience. Combat itself is largely automatic. The player acts as a coach, providing advice and issuing commands for moves like guards, combination attacks, and special moves when her meter is full. The page features illustrations of Toon at various ages and in different outfits, alongside pixel art screenshots showcasing the scheduling interface, training activities like swimming and weightlifting, and scenes from fighting matches. It highlights the balance needed between rigorous training and essential rest, noting that refreshing activities like vacations or visits to a spa can significantly benefit her mental and physical state. The article gives a good overview of the simulation's depth, emphasizing the variety of activities and how they contribute to Toon's development into a top-tier fighter. This page provides a continued report on the visual novel game, Roommate, Ryoko in Summer Vacation. It primarily focuses on giving players a sneak peek at the game's opening event, showing Ryoko's arrival and interaction with the player character. Several screenshots showcase different scenes and character graphics from the game's initial moments. A notable feature on this page is the second part of Ryoko's Secret, which humorously delves into the significant increase in Ryoko's bust size compared to the previous game. The article playfully speculates on the reasons behind this change, suggesting possibilities like drinking milk, eating well, or simply the effect of her new summer clothing. Illustrations compare her appearance between games, highlighting the difference. The page also includes a brief interview section featuring the game's producer and scenario writer, who discuss the character and her evolutions. This report gives fans a taste of the game's content and personality before its full release. The next page features a comprehensive report on Jibdarius, known in Japan as Layer Section 2. This intense shooting game is characterized by its strategic use of the lock-on laser to target and destroy enemies. The Saturn port introduces several original enhancements for fans to enjoy. Players can now select the R-Grey Zero, a unique new ship, alongside the originals, each offering different combat capabilities. The game features a high-score system rewarding precise lock-on attacks, encouraging skilled play, and includes a dedicated attack mode specifically for competing for the highest scores in challenging scenarios. Additionally, CG movies are integrated throughout the game to enhance the narrative and presentation. The report also previews the initial 4 stages, showcasing diverse environments from urban areas and flooded cities to valleys and deep space, each culminating in a challenging boss battle against massive enemy warships and creatures like Pendragon and Hannibal. Screenshots throughout the article illustrate the varied environments and the devastating power of the lock-on attacks. This page features reports on 2 distinct titles. On the left, we delve into Nanatsu Kaze no Shima Monogatari, an intriguing adventure game set in a world described as a living picture book, where inhabitants perceive reality as dreams. The report introduces key characters like Kisuke, Rokuzu, and Kurion, and explores their personal dreams, hinting at a journey through surreal landscapes. On the right, we get a look at Twinkle Star Sprites, the competitive arcade shooting game. This Saturn port is highlighted for its direct adaptation of the versus gameplay, where players clear enemies on their side to send attacks to their opponent. The Saturn version adds significant enhancements, including a brand new opening movie and exclusive characters, Misuzu Kisaragi and Principal, expanding the roster and presentation of this fast-paced SHMUP. The article also briefly touches upon voice acting features related to the game. This page gives us a detailed look at the upcoming adventure game, Virus. Set in a near-future 22nd century society still bearing the scars of war, players step into the shoes of a stand investigator, tasked with uncovering the truth behind a series of bizarre incidents caused by the mysterious virus. The game features a unique system and a rich world with a large cast of characters. A key gameplay element is exploring various networks, like the HistoryNet and FantasyNet, to gather information. The game incorporates real-time battles against intimidating bosses, including co-rendered monsters like the Blue Metal, demanding quick, tactical decisions. Player interaction is simplified through the push-only system input method. The adventure is punctuated by minigames, and the game opens with an expansive 3-part sequence. As you delve into the investigation, you'll interact with characters such as your partner Erica, the enigmatic informant Violet, and the elusive cyber-criminal McNaughton, navigating through diverse digital and physical environments, from restricted zones to resort networks. This page delves into the horror adventure game, Phantasm, a port from the PC. Players are thrust into a cursed mansion alongside the protagonist, tasked with unraveling its dark history. The game uniquely blends live-action footage with CG graphics to create its unsettling world. Gameplay involves moving a cursor to interact with the environment and utilizing collected items to progress, managing them within an inventory system. The story centers around protagonist Adrian and photographer Dan residing in a foreboding 19th century mansion, quickly encountering strange phenomena. The feature highlights key chapters, detailing ominous events like discovering hidden rooms and the disturbing behavior of Adrian's companion, Dan. An interesting section is an interview with Heath from X Japan, who discusses providing the theme song trailer for the game and his impressions of the project, particularly the gruesome scenes. Finally, there's a promotion offering a chance to win a Kraydrum copy of the game. This page features 2 distinct games. On the left is Panic-chan, an anime-infused adventure game described as featuring sexy girls and packed with animation. It boasts a branching story where player choices lead to different scenarios. The character designs are noted to be by a well-known anime designer. There's even a quirky feature allowing players to play with dress-up dolls of the characters. The right side introduces Terra Cresta 3D, a modern revival of the classic arcade shooting game. This version brings the action into 3D polygons while retaining the core gameplay. The key mechanic is combining up to 3 ships to gain powerful formation attacks and enhance shots. The game confirms the return of the iconic Firebird attack. It also highlights dynamic boss battles where the camera perspective shifts, adding to the intensity. This page introduces 2 exciting new titles. On the left is MechWarrior 2, a 3D action shooter transplanting the intense combat of the Battletech universe onto the Saturn. As a pilot of a massive battle mech, players will engage in diverse missions across varied landscapes in the year 3057, navigating the complex clan warfare between the Wolf and Jade Falcon factions. The game features multiple mech types and detailed controls for movement, combat, and even training missions to hone your skills before heading into battle. On the right, get ready for Scorchers, a high-octane near-future bike racing game. Set on a desolate Earth in 2021, you pilot a superbike capable of blistering speeds, tackling 6 dynamic courses filled with obstacles. The game offers championship, time attack, and practice modes to prove you're the king of speed, utilizing mechanics like boosts and jumps strategically to survive the challenging tracks. It looks like a wild ride, combining futuristic racing thrills with treacherous environments. This page dives into 2 very different gaming experiences. On the left is Pulirula, an arcade action game that's been perfectly transplanted to the Saturn. It's known for its incredibly strong visual impression, featuring a whimsical, almost fairy tale world filled with bizarre characters and enemies. You play as Zack or Mel, tasked with restoring time to a town that has been stopped by unknown forces, battling through unique and visually dense stages using strange magic attacks that vary wildly. It looks like a truly wild and unique beat-em-up experience with some unforgettable boss designs. On the right, we shift gears entirely to the chilling world of Koten Koreijutsu Hyaku Monogatari. Honto ni Atta Kawaii Hanashi, a horror sound novel based on the traditional Hyaku Monogatari 100 Tales ritual. Created with input from horror personality Hiroshi Inagawa, the game immerses you in terrifying true scary stories, with unsettling audio and visuals. The premise involves telling tales while extinguishing candles, leading to disturbing phenomena and encounters as you progress. The text itself can even become distorted or mirrored, adding to the eerie atmosphere. The game features a high volume of stories promising a varied and truly terrifying experience, focusing on psychological horror. This page dives into 2 very different titles. On the left, we have Lupin the Third Chronicle, a compilation celebrating the 30th anniversary of the legendary Master Thief. This isn't a traditional game, but rather a comprehensive database covering the history of the Lupin, the 3rd anime series, and the iconic Castle of Cagliostro movie. It's packed with character profiles, details on Lupin's gadgets, famous scenes, and even includes original animation made just for this release. There's also a special interview section with the creator, Monkey Punch, offering insights into the series' longevity and his inspirations. It looks like an essential archive for any Lupin fan. Shifting focus dramatically, the right side introduces Lifescape 2, Body Bionics. This title presents itself as educational software with a game wrapper. Players are shrunk down and injected into a virtual representation of the human body, tasked with collecting Drina fragments and battling hostile viruses. The gameplay involves exploring organs and systems, depicted in a somewhat abstract 3D style. Beyond the action of shooting viruses and navigating the internal landscape, there's a detailed database providing information about the human anatomy, accessible both during gameplay and from the main menu. It's a fascinating blend of action and education, aiming to teach about the body in an engaging way. The next page presents the Saturn Soft Impression Review Corner. This month features a smaller selection of only 7 games, which the magazine attributes to the quiet Oban holiday period, but still provides valuable insights for potential buyers. The reviews cover 4 distinct titles. First up is Banichan, an anime-driven adventure game praised for its strong animation and appealing character designs, though some reviewers found the story progression occasionally confusing and the difficulty inconsistent. Next is Phantasm, a horror adventure aiming to evoke the feel of 70s and 80s horror. While it starts slow, it builds atmosphere effectively, with reviewers noting that its spooky visuals and sound design contribute to a chilling experience, despite some repetitive exploration segments. Then we have Virus, an SF adventure that immerses players in a cybernetic world. The game's combat and movement mechanics are highlighted as engaging, set against impressive graphics and sound that enhance the futuristic atmosphere. Its scale and intensity were well received. Finally, Koi no Summer Fantasy in Miyazaki Sigaya is a dating simulation featuring Japanese talent Megumi Okina. Reviewers appreciated the visual presentation, which incorporates real location photos, but felt the gameplay itself was quite shallow, positioning it more as a casual fan item than a deep simulation. This page continues with more game reviews under the Saturn Soft Impression banner. First up is Scorcha, known internationally as Scorcher, a futuristic racing game described as having an exhilarating jet coaster feel with great speed. Reviewers enjoyed the sense of speed and the strategy involved in using items and finding shortcuts on the courses. It scored an average of 5.8 points. Next is Finalist, an SF 3D shooter. Players navigate obstacle-filled courses, taking down enemies, while the action and shooting are highlighted. Some reviewers felt the speed could be faster, and mentioned the missions might become repetitive, though they appreciated the detailed environments. It received an average score of 5.6 points. Following that is Puzzle Bobble 3, known internationally as Boostamove 3, for SegaNet. This review notes its release and support for X-Band, focusing on the competitive battle mode. It's presented as a solid puzzle game, perfect for training or competitive play via X-Band. There's also a brief mention of the Twin Operator, RGVC3, a new, lower-priced and improved model of the video CD/photo CD peripheral for the Saturn. It's described as a multimedia device allowing for playback of video seeds and photo seeds. The bottom section features a impression roundtable discussion among reviewers. They touch upon various games and topics, including thoughts on Phantasm's length and disk usage, opinions on Virus's graphics and difficulty, and general impressions on game production and value. They also briefly discuss the animation in the game Ippai no Kutsushita. This page is packed with exciting updates for fans. The Super Robot Maniacs SRX section serves as a fan corner, showcasing reader artwork and answering questions about the SRX universe, including details on an upcoming Robination Live event. A major feature is the Live UP Elf segment, focusing on the Windows 95 version of DocuSay 2. It reveals new artwork and screenshots, highlighting features like the ability to rewind character messages and a special bonus disc containing a game titled Graduation Student. Rounding out the page is the Super Robot Memorial File Volume 8, which delves into the history and legacy of the classic 80s anime, Heavy Metal, LGAIM. It covers the show's background, unique character and mecha designs, and its influence on the genre. This page provides a dedicated monthly update for fans of Sentimental Graffiti. It covers recent news, starting with the discography section, which previews upcoming single CD releases featuring character songs. An event report details The Fine Day, highlighting a popular talk show with the voice actors, and a bustling merchandise sales area. The page also showcases new goods available, including cute deformed character mascots with ball chains, new prizes for crane games, character-printed mini-cloths, and previews of upcoming drama creds and realistic scale figures. Information is also provided for a summer concert event. This page is clearly packed with details on various media and merchandise expansions for the series, keeping fans informed on how to engage with their favorite characters. This page dives deep into the world of Sakura Wars, with a focus on PC content, and rounds up the latest arcade prizes. The left side features the Sega PC Club, highlighting the second volume of the Sakura Wars digital data collection for PC. This isn't the full game, but a treasure trove for fans, packed onto 2 creds. It lets you relive moments from the game by combining character sprites with various expressions and poses against detailed backgrounds. You can even add voice lines. It's designed for creating custom wallpapers and images, offering a deep dive into the game's visuals. The page also showcases animated screensavers featuring the beloved characters, including fluid animations of Iris. Over on the right, the Prize Explorer section is your guide to what's hot in arcade crane games. It features a variety of prizes from both Banpresto and Sega. Banpresto brings Super Robot Wars talking piggy banks and figures from Lupin III, the Castle of Cagliostro. Sega offers cool items like Sonic, the Hedgehog, Sound Flash yo-yos, and Bomberman sound mascots. There are also prizes tied to other popular series like Dokusei 2, Classmates 2, and Sentimental Graffiti, keeping fans supplied with collectibles. The bottom section announces contest winners for magazine giveaways. This page is all about the heated Virtua Fighter 3 TV tournament, where Japan's top players clashed. It highlights the results of the national championship, showcasing the winners of both the open class and the ladies class. In the open class, Kurita takes the top spot, with Astro Jockey as the runner-up. The ladies class crown goes to Tenman Jackie, followed by Tatbiawi. The page includes photos and comments from these top competitors, sharing their thoughts on their victories and losses. Large tournament brackets illustrate the intense competition across various regions of Japan. The page also introduces the updated version, Virtua Fighter 3 TB, detailing its key features like team battles where players select up to 3 characters and strategic viewpoint switching. It mentions new content, including stages and opponent AI, making the game even deeper. A photo features Masayuki Suzuki from AM2 Lab, giving a speech about the game and the tournament. This page dives into the world of Sega's AM3 division, highlighted by the title Sparkling the AM3. The main focus is a detailed strategy guide for Stage 2 of the intense light gun shooter, The Lost World, Jurassic Park arcade game. It's split into 3 distinct points, guiding players through different encounters and areas, emphasizing constant shooting and targeting weak points. It mentions various dinosaurs you'll face, such as raptors, Gallimimus, and others. The guide culminates with strategies for the boss battle against the formidable Dinosuchus, detailing its attack patterns and effective tactics. The map helps visualize the stage layout. Elsewhere on the page, under AM3 Network Power Links, a hidden course is revealed for the arcade skateboarding game, Top Skater. By entering a specific command, players can unlock a secret area, offering ample space to perform tricks and rack up points. Finally, there's a promotional offer for a free, non-commercial Lost World Conundrum, featuring movie-related content like behind-the-scenes footage and interviews. The page concludes with an address for reader submissions. The next page dives deeper into Sega AM3's work, specifically focusing on the skateboarding arcade game, Top Skater. It features a character file on Jake Smith, providing details on his profile and background alongside concept and final character art. It also teases the next character file will feature Cookie. The page highlights an interview with AM3 staff, including director Shugano, discussing the upcoming National Top Skater Tournament. They talk about the event's goal of fostering community among players and hint at the future prospects for AM3 titles, mentioning games like Virtual On and Last Bronx. Visuals include a Top Skater gameplay screenshot, an image of an event poster from 1997, and photos of the interviewees. There's also a small profile for another character, Kenta. This page features HUD, the big tips for arcade hits now, focusing on clever tricks and insights for popular arcade games. The main highlight is the House of the Dead, providing cheat codes like transforming characters Logan and Dag, allowing players to control the damsel Sophie, and even enabling a score display function, which is usually hidden during standard gameplay. These are fun, non-standard ways to enjoy the game. Other titles featured include Dynamite Baseball 97, which is noted for its updated player data and allowing players to manage their team, adding depth beyond just playing the games. Capcom's upcoming Pocket Fighter is also showcased, bringing together beloved characters from Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, and Super Puzzle Fighter in a cute, super deformed style with a new gem system for special moves. Finally, there's a monthly ranking of arcade hits. The top 10 list includes popular titles like Virtua Fighter 3, Virtua Striker 2, Tekken 3, Vampire Savior, and The House of the Dead, showing the diverse range of games drawing crowds in the arcades. This page is packed with secrets and tips for some of the hottest Sega Saturn games, prominently featuring shooting games like Thunder Force vs. Thunder Force V. You get the lowdown on 2 key secrets: how the continue count isn't just tied to playthroughs but also time-elapsed, and the conditions for achieving the game's 2 different endings, including the emotional good ending staff roll which depends on your final boss strategy. The page also covers other popular Saturn titles. Quiz Nanero Dreams fans can learn how to unlock the best endings for the Fairy and Rinsu characters, and access bonus content like character albums and letters via the Omake menu. There are simple tips for Sonic Jam and Dokusei 2, showing easy ways to rewatch their opening and ending movies. Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series Volume 1 offers details on the bonus album and minigame modes unlocked after achieving a happy ending. For Daisen Ryaku Strong Style, a secret command at the title screen reveals a staff roll and battle demo. There's also a quick tip for Crime Wave on switching screen display modes. The page ranks these techniques and invites readers to share their own game discoveries. This page is all about the exciting games on the horizon for the Sega Saturn, prominently displaying a large, coming soon banner. First up is Cross Romance, Love, Mahjong and Cards, an intriguing blend of dating simulation and mahjong. The story mode centers on pursuing romance through mahjong tournaments, where the player selects a protagonist and interacts with a cast of 13 girls. Success in mahjong is key to advancing relationships. The page shows off various anime-style characters, many in swimwear, suggesting a focus on character appeal and fan service, alongside screenshots of Mahjong gameplay and character interactions. The second title is Gotha World: Wings of the Blue Sky, a strategic simulation game set in the skies. This game utilizes a hybrid system, blending turn-based mechanics on a hex grid with real-time elements for battles. Players command units in aerial combat, considering movement and positioning for strategic advantage. The page highlights how actions unfold over time and how players make tactical decisions during engagements. Screenshots depict the strategic map view, in-battle perspectives of aircraft and ships, and intense combat sequences. The game also features significant animation sequences to enhance the story and world. Character art for Gotha World appears more focused on action and drama compared to cross-romance. This page previews 4 upcoming games. Tutankhamun no Nazo Ankh is an adventure game set in ancient Egypt, using historical imagery for a rich experience. Culdicept combines board game and card battle elements, featuring a fantasy setting and strategic territory control. Winning Post 2 Final 97 is a horse racing simulation with updated data on jockeys and horses, emphasizing horse management and competition. Bubble Symphony: Bubble Bobble 2 is a classic puzzle action game where players control bubble-breathing dragons to trap and pop enemies. Each game is showcased with screenshots illustrating key gameplay features. This page previews several upcoming and recently released titles. My Dream: Waiting for On Air is a simulation game where players train young girls aspiring to become voice actresses, managing their schedules and helping them achieve their goals. Gameplay involves interaction and stat building for the characters. 2 enhanced strategy titles are highlighted: Nobunaga's Ambition, Tenshuki with Power-Up Kit, and Romance of the Three Kingdoms IV with Power-Up Kit. Both add new scenarios, characters, and editing features to their respective historical simulation experiences. Separately, 2 puzzle games featuring the art of Christian Reese Lassen and Thomas McKnight are showcased, offering traditional jigsaw puzzle gameplay with beautiful artwork. Builderland is introduced as a real-time simulation game where players command units to build and fight. Finally, the page looks at upcoming trends, featuring Steven Spielberg's Director's Chair, a unique simulation game where players step into the role of a movie director, guiding a film from script to production. This page features the latest development status report for a variety of anticipated Sega Saturn games. Covering multiple genres, the report gives a snapshot of progress for titles like Sonic R, Samurai Showdown, IV, Amakusa's Revenge, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and Dead or Alive for fighting and action fans. RPGs, such as Grandia, Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, Princess Crown, and Super Robot Wars F, are also highlighted, with various completion percentages noted. Adventure and simulation games like Uno, Sentimental Graffiti, Wizards Harmony 2, and Roommate are included, with some titles having mature content advisories. The report provides screenshots or artwork for each game, along with brief comments on their development status, hinting at demos and previews expected at upcoming game shows. This page provides the Sega Saturn new production sale calendar, offering a detailed look at upcoming game releases spanning from August through December, with a glimpse into titles planned for 1998 and beyond. This calendar serves as a comprehensive list for fans, featuring game titles, planned release dates, publishers or developers, and prices. The listings showcase the diverse library heading to the Saturn, including fighting games, action titles, RPGs, and more. Prices are typically listed around 5,800 yen, with variations and undecided entries noted. The page also includes a key explaining that red text indicates new titles appearing in the calendar, while blue text signifies title changes. Overall, it functions as a crucial reference point for anticipating the future lineup of Sega Saturn software. This page previews the upcoming issue of Saturn Fan Magazine, set for release on August 29th. Focusing on titles currently in development and announcements from the Tokyo Game Show. A key highlight mentioned is a feature on the highly anticipated Super Robot Wars Fae, with small character and mech illustrations hinting at the tactical battles to come. The page also features a large promotional advertisement for Koji Hayama's new album, Men's Empire, Saishu Kaikoku, announcing its release date of August 21, 1997, and listing upcoming radio and event appearances for the artist. Additionally, the page provides indices listing various Sega Saturn and arcade games covered or advertised within the magazine, featuring a wide range of genres from fighting games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Dead or Alive, to RPGs like Grandia and Panzer Dragoon Saga, alongside arcade hits like Virtua Fighter 3. Standard magazine information such as contact details and submission guidelines are also present. This page showcases several exciting titles available for the platform. On the left, we see an advertisement for the psychic suspense RPG, Marika Shinjitsu no Sekai. It features striking anime artwork of the main character and highlights the game's premise. 3 psychokinetic girls fighting against a wave of terror hitting Japan in 1997. Screenshots show detailed city environments and intense visual battles, supported by a roster of talented voice actors, and even a promotional offer for a special controller. The right side is packed with adverts for 3 distinct games. Dominating the top is the globally successful action-adventure title, Tomb Raiders, proudly announcing it has sold over 2.8 million units worldwide. The image features the iconic protagonist, Lara Croft, in action poses, alongside screenshots hinting at the game's thrilling exploration and combat. Below Tomb Raiders we have 2 simulation games. Sea Bass Fishing 2 promises an even more realistic and fun fishing experience, depicted with dynamic artwork of a fish leaping from the water. Finally, Yushun Classic Road invites players to challenge famous horses and live out dream matchups in a top-tier horse racing simulation, featuring commentary from a renowned expert. All 3 games on the right are highlighted as currently on sale for 5,800 yen.